Boston Rob, Amber, Lex, Jerry, Rupert, Big Tom. Survivor All-Stars brought together the biggest names in the game and then tore them apart. From betrayals to breakdowns to a live TV proposal, we're counting down the 10 most unforgettable moments from this gloriously messy and iconic season. Buckle up, it gets personal. Coming in hot at number 10 is the moment where Richard Hatch being attacked by a shark. Let's set the scene. It's early in Survivor All-Stars, and the Mogo Mogo tribe is starving. Enter Richard Hatch, who armed with a dull spear and the misguided confidence of a man who thinks nudity is a personality, goes off hunting. He spots a shark under a ledge and thinks lunch. Like any sane person would, he grabs it with his bare hands. Shockingly, the shark does not appreciate this. It clamps down on Richard Hatch's arm like it's holding a grudge, all the way from Borneo.
I let go a little bit. He goes boom for the second bite. Bites in further and harder. So what do? I bite him.
Oh my God!
He says that as if that's just something people do at brunch on a Tuesday, and somehow this works. He drags the shark to shore, blooded but victorious. A true provider, a hunter, someone with boundary issues.
Richard Hatch is a fishing god. He bit a shark that bit him. I mean, it's just so, it's like man versus nature.
But before we start crafting him a Nobel Prize out of coconut husks, let's not forget, that shark wasn't the only one who got touched without consent this season. Just a few episodes later, Sue Hawk would quit the game after Hatch grinded on her during a challenge. She described it as violating, humiliating, and devastating. But sure, let's all clap for the seafood slayer. So while Richard's battle with the shark may have fed his tribe, it also served as a disturbing preview of what happens when you give a man too much ego and not enough clothes. This wasn't just man versus nature, this was man versus decency.
Fifth person voted out of Survivor All-Stars. Rich.
I've been bamboozled.
That's 4, that's enough.
Good on you.
Remember when a woman expressed a basic human emotion and 5,000 people in Madison Square Garden responded like she just clubbed a baby seal? Coming in at number 9 is the night Survivor fans, drunk on Rob and Amber's romance and Rupert's tie-dye, booed Jerry Manthy so hard she literally walked off stage. Let's rewind. The All-Stars reunion was a mess. Everyone was shouting. Tom accused Rob of wanting his family. Lex cried about loyalty. Sheann quoted proverbs. The crowd screamed every time Rupert blinked. And then Jerry dared to bring up the fact that, oh right, the contestants are real people, not chess pieces, not cartoon villains, actual humans with feelings.
This show is a show about entertainment. This entertainment is coming at a price. What it has cost us.
Jerry got 5 seconds into her sentence before the garden unleashed a wall of boos like she just suggested burning down CBS. She wasn't interrupting anyone. She wasn't even being mean. She was literally asking people to be kind. In response, the audience treated her like she was trying to cancel Santa Claus. She walked off during the commercial break, and by the time Jeff came back, he had to explain why seat 18 was suddenly empty.
Give us a big shot of all 18. We are now down to 17 because Jerry left during the break. Well, that's why she left.
Classy, totally normal behavior, definitely not a televised public shaming. And here's the kicker, this would never happen today. Modern Survivor is basically one long, inspirational LinkedIn post. If someone tried to boo a contestant now, Jeff would deliver a 10-minute monologue about vulnerability and give them a weighted blanket. But in 2004, you say feelings on Survivor and the crowd reacts like you threw a machete at Rupert's wife. And all Jerry did was tell the truth, the behind the edits and alliances and confessionals. These people go home with real wounds, and not just the ones from mosquito bites or Hatch's nudity. But instead of listening, the fans turned on her. She was too real for a show that claimed to be about real people. Honestly, legend.
Underground, we're
Do we want to be an eye catcher, a pop, oh my God, or do we want to be like everybody else?
Coming in at number 8 is the moment Rupert decided to build a house so structurally unsound it made the 3 little pigs look like civil engineers. Yes, we're talking about the Saboga shelter, a trench shelter meets damp grave situation. That was Rupert's personal fever dream. He announced his plan to dig 3 feet deep into the sand and build a log cabin. You know, because sand is famously load-bearing and structurally sound.
We're building a log cabin. We're going to dig down into the sand a couple feet to add to our height, so you walk into it and you'll be able to stand up.
Now, it takes a special kind of delusion to look at a beach in Panama during the rainy season and say, you know what would be smart? A hole. But Rupert wasn't building for survival, he was building for drama.
underground, we're
Do we want to be an eye catcher, a top them, oh my God, or do we want to be like everybody else?
Jerry is the lone voice of sanity in a tribe full of wet lumber and wounded egos, and she calmly pointed out that maybe, just maybe, this was a terrible idea.
Rupert's a complete control freak. He has to have everything his way, and he thinks he's the only one who can do it right.
But Jerry's fatal mistakes? Being correct and being Jerry Manthy. So instead of reconsidering, the tribe let Rupert trench them into oblivion, while Jerry got yet another stamp on her "I warned you" punch card.
What I want is a place I can actually sleep in. Sounds to me like you're really concerned about something standing out.
Spoiler alert, it did not stand out in a good way. When the professional contractor and judge arrived to evaluate their eye catcher, he didn't even pretend to hold back.
Saboga? Oh.
You don't like it?
No.
You would not want to live here.
Oh, no, man. No.
In other words, complete fail, disaster, violation in progress. And how did the tribe respond to the fact that Jerry had been right all along? With silence, of course. No apologies. No, you called it. Just more shitting on Jerry because that is always the right thing to do in early Survivor.
Amber is the only one to change tribes. You stay with Chapera, but your tribe members are all new.
Coming in at number 7 is the moment Survivor casually flipped the game on its head by randomly swapping every single player to the opposing tribe, except Amber. Just Amber. Literally one person. The setup was classic Jeff Probst. Gather everyone for a fun picnic. Let them chat one-on-one like it's a speed dating mixer, and then casually drop the drop your buffs bomb like it wasn't about to blow up 6 alliances and half the fan base's trust in reality TV.
Drop your buffs.
There we go.
Drop them at your feet. Time for some new buffs.
What followed looked like a tribe swap, but felt more like a storyline script rewrite with edible props. Everyone swapped exactly across.
Still no change to the makeup of each tribe.
Oh, this is just weird.
We have 2 buffs left. 1 red, 1 green.
Every Mogo Mogo became a Chaperan. Every Chaperan became a Mogo Mogo, except Amber, who was left with 5 strangers, no allies, in a fire pit full of hopes and dreams.
Amber is the only one to change tribes. You stay with Chapera, but your tribe members are all new.
Nothing suspicious about that, right? Just a totally normal, mathematically improbable, producer-blessed anomaly. And yet, what really sold it as fishy was how perfectly it set up the Lex versus Rob storyline. Amber gets isolated, Rob scrambles, Lex gets handed power, cue dramatic debt collecting, and Jerry going home instead. Jerry and Lex have both since spilled in Reddit AMAs that the tribe swap involved drawing buffs in a very specific order, and wouldn't you know it, Amber just happened to be the last to draw. It's giving twist, but it's also giving notes from a script.
Kind of weird, huh, Rupert?
Very weird.
Wow.
Like it was meant to be.
Well, Amber should be here.
Amber should be here.
Meant to be. Jeff said it out loud. They weren't even trying to hide the manipulation. Maybe they were trying to launch a Lex versus Rob deathmatch. Joke's on them, Lex took the bait, kept Amber around, and then got steamrolled at the merge anyway. But let's be clear, if Amber had gone home at the swap, Survivor All-Stars as we know it would not exist. There'd be no romper, no proposal, no wedding special, no winners at war. Just a confused Rob and a green buff wondering where his girlfriend went. So maybe this wasn't just a tribe swap, maybe it was the most pivotal piece of Survivor production interference ever. And maybe, just maybe, it worked. But yeah, totally random, sure.
The word I gave you was that if I can take care of you, I will. I'm sorry, I cannot.
At number 6, Boston Rob betrays Lex. The Survivor All-Stars pre-game alliance web was thicker than the humidity in Panama. These people weren't strangers. They were friends, roommates, exes, and frequent flyer miles on each other's couches. They went to charity events, hosted each other for parties, and in some cases even dated. So when Boston Rob found himself on the wrong side of a tribe swap, his plea to Lex felt personal, emotional, like a bond deeper than the game. Lex made the fateful move to vote out his own ally Jerry to save Amber for his buddy Rob. Fast forward 72 hours and Rob greets Lex at the merge like a man about to serve divorce papers in public.
I screwed my own game up. I'm sorry, buddy. I just can't even believe what I'm hearing.
You're asking me to screw everybody else now.
You got more allegiance to them than you got to me.
Absolutely brutal. Lex looked like a guy who brought a friendship bracelet to a knife fight.
The word I gave you was that if I can take care of you, I will. I'm sorry, I cannot.
Despite Lex essentially detonating his own tribe to help Rob responded by immediately cutting him loose at the very first opportunity. But honestly, it was the right move. Lex had tanked his game by voting out stronger allies like Ethan and Colby just to be the big man on the beach. By the time he reached the merge, his only real weapon was Rob, and Rob buried him in the sand. But at number 5, we have the first ever 3-tribe season. Back in 2004, Survivor All-Stars broke tradition and did something revolutionary. It ditched the usual 2-tribe format and introduced 3 tribes: Chapera, Mogo Mogo, and Saboga. Jeff Probst made it clear from the jump that this season was going to mess with the players' heads.
Aside from their own tribe mates, they have no idea who else is in this game. They don't even know there are 3 tribes.
And when the reveals came, it was delicious.
You want to see who you're playing against?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, 12 survivors would be nice, 2 tribes would be fun, not enough. Saboga, come on in!
The twist worked so well that even Boston Rob had to admit what they were all thinking.
Star Survivor is going to be so cutthroat, it's not even going to be fun. Nobody trusts anybody. Nobody. Nobody trusts anybody, do you understand?
Well, we can't say he didn't warn us about how boring it would be. And even though it took another 17 seasons before Survivor Philippines brought the 3-tribe format back, it's now the default. Modern Survivor basically can't function without the 3 tribes. And if you're a true fan and not just a watched Winners at War and called it a day fan, you already know the real legacy of this twist. Mogo Mogo boat. If you know, you know. And if you don't, go Google it and prepare to cross the threshold from casual viewer to deeply online Survivor degenerate. Moving on to the next moment, coming in at number 4, we have Sheehan winning a clutch immunity at the final 7. Let's be honest, Sheehan was never going to win Survivor All-Stars. She wasn't respected as an all-star. She didn't fit in with the cast, and frankly, most of the others were openly annoyed she was even there. But in episode 13, the unluckiest underdog delivered the pettiest possible victory. In the Endurance Immunity Challenge, when it rains, it pours, Sheehan outlasted everyone, including Rupert the Challenge Beast, and won individual immunity at the exact moment she needed it most.
Yeah! Take that! Ow! Don't forget you gotta go home with us, Sheehan. Be very careful, sweetheart.
And it gets even better. Sheehan had spent the episode in open conflict with Alicia, who made sure to mock her during the reward challenge as the person who didn't deserve to be there. Cut to tribal council and Alicia is the one heading home.
Now that I have an immunity win, I know that Alicia's head is on the chopping block, Rob Mariano's head's on the chopping block, and so is Rupert's.
At number 3 is the most bitter jury of all time. Rob Mariano and Amber Brkich sat before a jury not just of castaways but of old friends. This was Survivor's first season where the players knew each other before the game. They'd been to each other's homes, attended each other's weddings, and suddenly they were stabbing each other for $1 million. Lex, Kathy, and Big Tom in particular took Rob's betrayal personally, and they unleashed.
What kind of a friend are you, Rob? What kind of a friend were you to me?
I just can't imagine any game in the world where you can check your friendships at the door.
You may have outwitted us, outplayed us, and outlasted us, but you have not outclassed us.
Big Tom, who days earlier was joking with Rob, turned bitter and weird.
Well, I guess that's all, so we're saying that. I just want to say no hard feelings.
No hard feelings, Tom.
Don't be stupid, stupid.
Their hypocrisy was jaw-dropping. Many of them did the exact same thing. They just weren't as good at it. And yet, despite it all, Amber wins, Rob loses the title, but leaves with the girl.
Will you marry me?
After 39 days of betrayal, blindsides, and backstabbing, Survivor All-Stars ended not with a fight, but coming in at number 2 on our list with a proposal. Rob Mariano and Amber Berkich had played the game as a pair from day one. What started as a flirty alliance turned into a real bond, and despite the bitter jury, Amber narrowly won the title of sole survivor in a 4-3 vote. But before she could ever savor the win, Rob made his final move. He dropped to one knee and proposed on live television. However, coming in at number 1, the end of this goddamn train wreck. Amber wins the $1 million, Rob wins a fiance, and Jeff wins the chance to never talk to these bitter people again. The season that gave us some of Survivor's best players acting their absolute worst finally taps out. If you're feeling heated, then you'll fit right in with the rest of the gang in Survivor Vanuatu. Click here to see the most explosive moments of the season.